Hello and welcome to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and this podcast is brought to you by thelegendarychiropractor.com, an interactive and immersive virtual platform for prospective chiropractic students, current chiropractic students, recent chiropractic school graduates, and even veteran doctors of chiropractic out in the field wanting just a little bit more from this profession. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and if you do, be sure to share with a friend, leave us a rate, leave us a review, and also be sure to subscribe to get more. Dr. Brad Glowacki runs one of the highest volume, highest profile, highest profitability practices in the world, and it's all run with vitalistic communication procedures. Those procedures from his office are then shared with other chiropractors at his various trainings as a part of Level Up mentoring. This information is created, developed, tested, and then packaged simplistically before being taught. With bruises and scars from making mistakes, Dr. Glow always delivers refined content that is battle-tested and simplified for use on Monday. To level up your life and practice, head over to levelupmentoring.rocks. That's levelupmentoring.rocks. Chiro HD, superior cloud-based practice management software. Chiro HD is a user-friendly, all-in-one EHR solution built with one mission: to help you run your practice like a boss. Learn more at chirohd.com. Total Clinic Solutions is your go-to source for purchasing both brand new and refurbished chiropractic equipment, as well as phone support for repairs and maintenance. Call Derek and allow him to combine your wishes and his 23 years of chiropractic equipment expertise to find what's best for you and your patients at 704-622-4089 or head to totalclinicsolutions.com now. Hey, what is going on, everyone? Legendary fam, coming to you live for another episode of the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. As per usual, I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and actually I just got done with a run here in downtown Chicago, and we got the Sears Tower or Willis Tower here in the background. And I just wanted to come to you live today to chat a little bit about budgeting for an associate in your office, having the right mindset, having the right budget, having the numbers right before you hire somebody to come work for you in your office. So again, I just got done with a run. If my face looks really red, it's probably because it's about 70 degrees here in Chicago. And I am just absolutely loving the weather, taking advantage of it, shooting a video outside, making sure that you guys understand the importance of budgeting for a chiropractic associate to come into your office as recent graduates or as doctors of chiropractic. So we're talking all about that today. Click the link in the description. Head to legendarychiro.com/chiropair, legendarychiro.com/chiropair, and win yourself some free chiropair swag. If you guys haven't heard yet, we are launching an app in the Apple Store, in the Google Play Store, that is going to be all for employers and candidates to meet one another, chat with one another, match with one another, and make it a what we call two-way profile marketing platform. So it feels and looks and is just like what you're used to, which is a social network, right? Which is a social platform. So you'll be able to chat, you'll be able to video chat, you'll be able to match, you'll be able to search people's profiles. It's going to be awesome. So make sure that you understand that you can go to legendarychiro.com/chiropair to win yourself some free chiropair swag like t-shirts, stickers, etc. So drop your name in there for a chance to win. Now, today's conversation, like I said, is all about hiring an associate, budgeting for an associate, making sure you understand exactly what your numbers look like and are prior to hiring a chiropractic associate. Now, why this is important for you, why this is important for the associate, is so that we get rid of, if you haven't been tuning in recently to the most recent episodes that we've done for the Legendary Chiropractic Podcast, you should know that I'm very passionate about getting rid of and destroying the narrative and the myth that chiropractors eat their young. right? So I want to completely get rid of that. I want to extinct that from the narrative of chiropractic and chiropractors. So it is my passion, it is my purpose in life and in this chiropractic profession to make sure that chiropractic associates and candidates are not taken advantage of, and frankly don't get taken advantage of just because the chiropractor needs some cheap hire and needs some cheap labor. That's not how this works. That's not how this process goes. You can be fair, you can pay a good price, and you can also get an associate and a candidate that's going to be reasonable with you, that isn't wanting or looking for $100,000, $150,000 plus dollars a year to come in work for your office. Because what you have to do is you have to show value. You have to give value to that candidate, to that chiropractic associate. If you don't give value to your chiropractic associate, what is the point in them stepping into your office? If you're not giving them an opportunity to grow, if you're not giving them an opportunity to grow your office, if you're not giving them an opportunity to step into doctorhood, what are you doing? As the employer, what are you doing? That is a real question I have for you. So make sure you are taking care of your candidates, but make sure tip number one is get your freaking numbers right. Get your numbers right, guys, because if you don't have your numbers right, what good are you doing that candidate coming into your office? If we go through another crisis in the next 3 to 5 years and you got to fire your associate, what was the point of bringing them on in the first place? Unless you're doing more of a short-term thing, like a catch and release, like Dr. Brad Glowacki recommends, and kind of taking them in under your wing for 12 to 18 months, and then saying, hey, good job, go start your own thing with the business knowledge and the systems and the procedures I gave you. But if you're not doing that, if you're looking for more of like a keep of an associate, easily share your passion for chiropractic and look good doing it with Above Down Apparel, offering a premium lineup of principled apparel that's impossibly soft, sustainably sourced, and chiropractic AF. Visit abovedown.co and follow them on Instagram to learn more and score yourself some sweet chiro swag. Associate is what we call it. If you're looking for someone to stay on board for 3, 5, 7, 10 years, right? And you kind of start to step away every single year after that from your practice, and you want them to run it, you gotta take advantage of having your numbers right. Don't take advantage of them. Have your numbers right so you don't take advantage of them, the candidate and the associate. So get your numbers right, get your digits right. And if you yourself are not profitable, to be able to pay your associate, you should already be making pretty close to double, if not triple, or quadruple what you're going to be paying your associate, right? So I'll give you that range. You should be making at least double to quadruple. We'll go 2 times or 4 times as much as you are paying your associate. And now some candidates out there might watch this video and be like, well, that's not fair, Johnny. That's absolutely not fair. Yes, it is, because they built the business. They also have other overhead to pay. You don't. You have no other overhead to pay candidate. You have no other overhead to pay associate. You just get a paycheck and walk out. That's what you do. However, that doc hiring, you need to know that you should be making 2 times and or 4 times, 2, 3, or 4 times as much as you are paying your associate chiropractor. Now, the reason I say that is because you have to be able to build in bonuses, you have to be able to give benefits, you have to be able to provide the candidate and the associate with things that are not only value and mentorship and guidance related, but are actually currency related, are money related, right? That's what you need to do. That's how you need to move forward with the hiring process. That's tip number 1, is have your numbers right. Be profitable. You got to be profitable at least 2 times to 3 times to 4 times as much as you're going to pay somebody base salary coming into your office, okay? So if you're going to pay somebody, 60K, right? You better be minimum take home, not gross income, take home. That means profitable. You better be profitable $120,000 at the end of the year. If you're going to pay somebody, if you're going to be paying somebody $60K to come into your office, you better be taking home at least a minimum of $120,000 in your pocket, not operating expenses. Okay, that's really, really important. And if you want a really good book on this topic, I highly, highly, highly recommend Profit First. Profit First is a phenomenal book, and you should go check it out. I just finished listening to it, and I'm totally ramped up about numbers, about accounting, about budgeting, and getting my numbers right for the Legendary Chiropractor and making sure everything is working and working smoothly, and we can be successful and profitable as a business. Not me personally, right? That's called owner's compensation. Profitable as a business, right? To make sure I have enough money to pay for ads, to pay for billboards, to pay for events to go vend for Chiropractor, right? To make sure I have all my ducks in a row before I go out and actually start to do some of this stuff and spend some money. I got to have money to spend money. Now, the other thing is, not only do you have to have your numbers right, you got to be profitable 2 to 3 to 4 times the amount that you are going to be paying that associate. That means take home $120,000 if you're going to be paying somebody $60,000 to come into your office. The other thing is a lot of people ask me about bonus structures and benefits and things like that. I've heard the gamut on pretty much anything that you can imagine offering an associate to come work for you. I've heard of paying for housing. I've heard of paying for car insurance. I've heard of paying for gym memberships. I've heard of paying for a cell phone bill, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on for benefits. I've heard of healthcare stipends. I've heard of retirement funds. I've heard of all sorts of different things. For bonuses, you can either do, really there are two options, right? You can do percentage based on gross collections of the office, which is pretty much a low percentage of that. They're not really taking home much of that unless they've been with you for 5, 7, 10 years. Or you could do an individualized bonus where they're getting bonused on, things that they actually achieve in your office that you think are necessary, and that you think are important. So maybe at the end of they sign like, I don't know, 4 people up in the week, right? They get like $1,000 signing or $1,000 bonus or something like that. It's just an example. Those aren't real numbers. Just, you got to work with your numbers. You got to know your numbers. Again, that's just an example. So highly, highly, highly encourage you to have your numbers right and be profitable at least 2, 3, or 4 times as much as you're going to be paying somebody to come in and work in your office. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is you have to provide value. I mentioned this early in our episode. You have to provide value. If you're not providing value in regards to mentorship, guidance, coaching, seminars, technique, community outreach, marketing, advertising, if you're not providing value in those categories, you're doing something wrong. You got to understand that those things are so critical for a new grad to understand and know. And this is really a video about recent chiropractic school graduates understanding, what they're really stepping into, but also for docs who are vets out there who have been in the game for 10, 15, 20 years, who understand kind of, the associate model, but they want to truly step into the associate model. So give that a shot. Make sure that you provide value in some way, shape, or form. Because here's the reality. You want in on a great secret and a budgeting secret? If you provide more value, and you're able to tell the candidate and the associate and explain to them why and how you're providing more value to them, that becomes priceless. Then you could put whatever price tag on the base pay, on the base salary, on the bonuses, on the benefits, and you can walk away from the table knowing that you ethically and morally hired a great candidate, a great associate, and they got a fantastic deal coming to work for your office because you are going to be providing them with an abundance of value that they can either take themselves and go open up a practice, or they can continue to work for you and scale your business and scale within your business, and you are able to then step back and step down from your business and stop working in it and continue to work on it from anywhere in the world, right? That's what we call freedom. So Dr. Brad Glowacki is a huge proponent of that, what I just said. So make sure you're providing value. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is make sure that the candidate is providing value. If the candidate isn't providing value, what good are they to you, right? Not only value in technique, value in communication, value in community outreach, but also value in teamwork, work ethic, learning, being a sponge, being able to learn and absorb what you're telling them and being able to apply it literally within seconds of you telling them to do it. Now, there's a big difference between you telling somebody what to do and never mentioning it before and them struggling with it versus you telling someone what to do, and actually training them on it, and then them being able to perform the task at hand. If you don't give guidelines, if you don't give, a bullet list of things that you want to see from them, they're never going to be able to train. They're never going to be able to learn new things. They're never going to be able to learn and adapt to new skills that you want them to have and grow with. So you gotta kind of provide them that outlet and that guidance and mentorship. That's what we talk about. But make sure that they're going to provide value for your office. Make sure they're going to bring the heat when they get in there and they're going to communicate your message. Make sure that they're the same philosophical mind personally and professionally as you. And make sure. Dr. Stu Hoffman, founder and president of Chiropractic Malpractice Insurance, is the foremost expert in both risk management and risk avoidance. Understanding the everyday challenges of today's practicing chiropractor and the current public perception of chiropractic has made Chiropractic the fastest growing malpractice insurance program of the last 28 years. Find out more at chiropractic.com. Imaging Services' primary business is chiropractic solutions. With over 45 years in the industry of helping chiropractors, Michael Tokash offers free consultations on building your business. In the past year, Imaging Services has installed over 100 X-ray machines and digital X-ray systems in over 42 states across the United States. For more, head to theimagingservices.com. You go out and you guys crush it together, right? It doesn't matter guy, girl, guy. It doesn't matter what scenario you're in or who you choose to hire. You should be able to have the systems and the procedures in place to bring anyone in as an associate or a candidate, pay them well, treat them with respect, and them learn a ton, as well as bring tons of value to your office, your community, and your patients. It should be a win-win-win, a win for your associate, a win for you, and a win for your community, because now they got two great minds working together. And I know I closed the last episode out just like that, but I'm going to close this one out just like that as well. So as you can see, I'm in downtown Chicago, just went for a run. It's about 70 degrees here, and I wanted to make this podcast video, and make sure that you guys were able to tune in. Check it out. If you're just joining us, go back, watch it over again. This was a solid video. And most of these are solo podcasts, and I like to say that I'm ranting. I'm not really ranting. I'm really trying to train you to think differently, because like I said before at the beginning of this video, I am out to eradicate the dog eating their young and chiropractors eating their young BS that's out there, that myth, that narrative. I'm out to eradicate that. I think it's absolute BS. I think it's crap, and I think it's crap that it still happens, and it needs to go. So I'm here to help doctors, help employers, help candidates, help associates, help people meet, and make sure that they find themselves into a good situation. Because if they don't, then they look back and they blame the chiropractic profession. That's the last thing we need. We need to take care of the youth of this profession, because we are the ones that are going to be the future. We are the ones that are going to carry and continue to carry the torch for chiropractic for another 120 some odd years, right? So don't take advantage of the youth of this profession. And I'm actually sitting with a sign right in front of me. I got the Sears Tower in the back, or the Willis Tower. Sorry, I grew up here, so it's just one of those things. And right in front of me is a sign, and I want to show you guys it because I think the message is really important today. So go ahead and look at this. Check that out. We are the ones we have been waiting for. June Jordan. It's your time, guys. It's your time to be the best person you can be. It's the time to treat your neighbor with respect. It's your time to understand that there are differences in the world, and every human life counts. Every single person that you come in contact with, that you text, that you call, that you see on a day-to-day basis, especially as chiropractors, and especially in the circles that I go around, it's a lot of high volume clinics, right? You gotta love on people. Just spread kindness, spread joy, spread love, and make sure that people know that it's genuine, that it's authentic, and that you truly do care about them. Sometimes that's all people need to heal, right? You know that probably better than I do, especially if you're a veteran doctor that I'm talking to, right? Just sometimes people need a little bit of hope, a little bit of love, and a little bit of kindness, and it goes a really, really, really long way. Share that. Share that with somebody today. And if this week you haven't contacted someone that you haven't contacted in a while, I just did this morning. I texted a buddy who got engaged. Congratulated him, that I haven't talked to since college, right? And he's one of my best friends still to this day, but we just don't talk all the time. And he just sent back so much love back, and it was awesome. It was like, wow, great to connect with you, you know? That's what you need to do. That's what we need to do as a society, as a people, as Americans, as individuals in this world, as Europeans, right? It doesn't matter where you're from. Canadians, I don't care. I don't care where you're from. Just know that you are loved. Know that you can spread kindness. Know that you can choose kindness over hatred, over evil, because we are the ones we have been waiting for. And you know that you can make a choice to be kind to one another. Go out and do that today. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, guys. Again, I'm your host, Johnny Reuter, and you're listening to the Legendary Chiropractor podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for engaging with us on all of our platforms, including, but not limited to, Facebook and Instagram, all at The Legendary Chiropractor. Be sure to check our home site out at thelegendarychiropractor.com, as we have much to offer for prospective chiropractic students, current chiropractic students, recent chiropractic school graduates, and even veteran doctors of chiropractic out in the field. And lastly, I'd like to thank not only you, our listener, but also our podcast sponsors. Without them, this show wouldn't be possible. So I encourage you to go check out their websites and what they have to offer in the show notes for this episode. Thanks again. Stay legendary, my friends.